Hi, Lyris Rex, starting in 4 minutes. Hello guys, can you hear me well? Welcome to our studio. I want to wait a couple minutes for people to join. Okay, just let me know if you hear me well, or if it's too loud, if it's too soft. Hello, crocodile tears. Hello. Hi, where are you guys writing from? JJ Dewstall. Sorry, I'm probably butchering your names. Okay, okay, good to know. Okay. That's nice. Italy, nice. We're from Italy as well. Italy where? Central Wisconsin. Nice. That's so cool. Hello. Hello, everyone. Rome. Nice. Okay, guys, I think we can start. So, I would like to go to Italy. I'm from Michigan of the USA. Yeah, I know where it is. Nice. Well, please come. We just had another family. We're over for a while. We sent our kids home with more armful of extra receiving fees. Oh, that's nice. We really love to know that your kids love our stuff. It's really heartwarming. It's every time somebody writes that, we're so happy. Really. Okay, well, I think we can start. Well, first of all, I'll introduce myself. You probably don't really know me because I never show up because I'm very shy. That's why. My name is Georgia. I'm the person behind the models, the designs, the sculpting, and the painting, which we're gonna do some today. So yeah, we wanted to do an event with Twisty for a while, but we really didn't know what to do because, well, we're so far away from you guys, because most of you guys are from America or, well, somewhere else in the world. So we thought, some people asked for tutorials, but we were like, yeah, okay, we like tutorials, but at the same time, we really love what you guys come up with your paintings. So we didn't want to limit this. So we thought, we should do like a studio session in which you guys see what we do usually, and yeah, so that's what we're trying to do today. Hopefully. So Rexus is here as well. It won't show up today because it's talking right now. It's a bit sick, so it won't talk today. It will just talk. It won't show up. We won't show his face, right? Okay, so I want to show you something actually. So we asked you guys to vote for something we should paint together, and we didn't have a lot of we didn't have a majority of votes, so we narrowed your choice to this four, pretty much. Okay. So we have a cat dragon. They're just models laying around in our studio. We thought it would be best if we painted them together, maybe. Okay, so we are a cat dragon. We have one of our creepy dolls and a frog and our baby phoenix. So what you guys want to paint? Please choose between these four. And otherwise, if you don't have any preference, I'll pick one myself. Just let me know though. So I'll wait for a bit. Mini phoenix, okay. Nice. Anyone else? Phoenix, super cute. Okay. Team Phoenix. Okay, another one. Okay, well, I think we can do the Phoenix, if anyone else is not asking for anything. Okay, let's do the Phoenix. Wait. Good. So, first thing first, I want you guys to know, if you don't already, about a thing that I use for painting called a wet palette. So, what's a wet palette? Okay, so this is made so that you don't waste a lot of paint while painting. It's basically, okay, this is a store-bought one. I'm gonna show you how to make one yourself. It's super easy. So we have a foam layer, and then this is basically parchment paper. And the principle is you put water in here, so the foam stays wet, and this part stays wet as well. So your color doesn't dry up. And this is super useful because when you're painting figurines, you are you're using some colors that are specific for model paint. You can use acrylics as well, but these are more pigmented. It's better to use these ones. So they can be pretty expensive. So this way you don't waste any paint, and you can paint for longer without refilling your paint each time. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to make one yourself if you're interested. So you need Tupperware or any like hair dye container mostly, and then you need parchment paper. I already cut it so it fits, and then you need some paper towel, or you can use a sponge, a very thin sponge, and then you put water in here. So this one, maybe you wet this one as well. So this stays wet, the color stays wet, and then you can close it, and then it's very nice because it can stay, like if you want to paint tomorrow, it's gonna stay wet. It's super nice, really. Okay, I'm gonna use the store-bought one. I actually bought it like around 2 years ago. I've always used the homemade ones, so it's not a really issue. It's just if you paint a lot and you want to have something that you know is ready more easily, then you buy one, but it's not necessary. Okay, so as I said, I use model paint specific for miniature. You can use acrylics. This is acrylic color anyway, so yeah. I'm using these ones, but there are lots of brands around. You just write miniature paints and you'll see what you need. Right, so first of all, wow, that's really super useful. Okay. Now, when we make our models, we want to make sure that we get the right colors for them. So what do? We use some simple rules. I mean, we go by instinct usually, but if you're not an expert at it, you can use some simple rules. And you use a color wheel usually. So this is a color wheel. Now, to see if a color can match another, there's a very nice rule that's called complementary colors. So if you see, so red is opposite to green. So you know that red matches with green. Blue is opposite to yellow, and you know these two colors go well together, and so on. So in this case, it doesn't apply to this actually. It applies more to, this model, for example. This one has purple, well, sort of magenta, and green. So you can see that they match on the color wheel. And, you know, this is not a fixed rule. This is something that you need to test. Usually it works, but it's not the only way to match stuff. So don't rely too much on this. But I'm showing you just so you can have a guide on how to do stuff. Right. So based on this principle, we have other ways to use this color wheel. And we have a really, really interesting ways to create lights and shadows with it. For instance, okay, so we have red, and we have a thing called analogous colors. So what's analogous colors? Here, I'll show you. Basically, if you have a color, the analogous colors are the one very close to it. So this area right here. This is very useful for shadows. Some really ugly ones. Oh, yeah, that happens. It happens to me as well. It's totally normal. Yeah. Okay, so we have red. And what color do you think the red shadows should be? Because the first instinct for many people is dark red. But that can make it really boring. Even if you make it gray, that's really boring. Black is terrible. Right, so what do? You pick another color and from the color wheel, and this will ensure you that your final product will be very vibrant and nice. Okay, so for example, we have red. So if you use an analogous color, we're gonna go for probably magenta or violet if we want to go super bold, and TwistyPrints is really bold, so this is what we can do. Yeah, and for the highlights we can go to orange or yellow. See, it's pretty easy once you get to do it. Really. Okay, so yeah, I think we can start painting. Alright, so I'm gonna grab some magenta and maybe violet for the really, really dark ones, and red. We're gonna need red for the base color. Okay, so basically, okay, this is a pre-painted model. Sometimes, if it's not pre-painted, you should probably try and prime the model, because that helps the paint grip better. But this is a PLA model, and these little creases right here are really helpful. The layers are your friends, because what's the brand of the color you use? I use Chimera colors, but there are lots of brands right out there. Citadel, some people use Scale 75, and also what else? Vallejo is really nice. It depends on where you're from, really, and what brands you have available, but just make sure they're acrylics, first of all, because they will melt. Paint will melt, like the bundle will melt otherwise. And also make sure that probably, if you can, make sure that highly pigmented colors and model paint is usually highly pigmented. So that's why I'm telling you, try and get that if you can. Okay, so I think we can start. Alright, so first thing first. Yeah, you should prime the model, but in this case, since we've already pre-colored it, it's a bit of a pity to do that. And we're gonna use it as it is. So to do that, we have a couple of rules. First of all, use your base color. Oh, we should probably shake it first. Okay. Okay. Now this is already pretty watery. Like, hopefully, if you can, you should use milk consistency. Like, if you don't really know what it is, grab a glass of milk and try. And that's what the consistency your color should have. I'm using some paper towel. This can be useful for mixing. And now I'm just gonna do the first layer. Now, don't worry if paint doesn't grip well at first. Just let it dry. And then do another layer. The most important thing is that you keep it milk consistency, because do you prefer to paint models that are multicolor prints, or is it easier to paint models that are printed in one color or filament? Oh, I prefer multicolor because it saves a lot of time. But it depends. I used to, before we had multicolor printers, we used to prime them and paint them as it is. So yeah, if you can, I'm gonna show you it's possible to do that without priming it, because most people will tell you, yeah, you need to prime this, but you don't. You can just use your layers well. Now, if the paint is not milk consistency, that's where the paint will peel off. So that's when things get tricky. But if your layers are really, really thin, then the paint will grip well and you can use this surface to your advantage. Alright, I'm just doing the red right now. We're not doing highlights and shadows right now. It's just the base color. So we need to let this dry. You can use a hairdryer if you want. I don't have one available right now, but yeah, if you want to hurry, that's what you should do. Probably. Just make sure it's not too hot because it will melt, probably. But I don't think the PLA will melt as bad. So while the paint is wet, I want to try something that's a bit more advanced, but I think can be easy to do in this circumstance. So I'm gonna pour our magenta. Okay. This one is a bit more solid. Alright, so milk consistency. Here. And we're gonna start with our shadows. First layer of shadows. So this won't overload your brush and will help you be more precise. So I'm gonna do this part. At first you won't notice it different much, but it's a matter of building everything layer by layer, and then you'll see it. Okay. So I'm doing all those parts that are hidden by the shadows. So like the feathers, this part will be layered by this other feather, so that's why I'm doing this. And this part is really nice. Pretty sure there's a shadow down here. And under the beak. Okay. parts as well. I like to show the details, make them pop. So I'm gonna try emphasizing it. Okay. Can you see how it's coming up? Maybe not. Okay. Okay. Looks like I'm doing nothing, I'm aware, but... Oh, sorry. Question? Where do you get your inspiration for new monsters and models? Yeah, well... we really like mythology and, in general, pop culture stuff. So we start from there. Usually, we either start from mythology or we see an animal and we're like, okay, we really like this animal. We want to make it weird somehow. So that's what we do. Yeah, but usually there's more than one inspiration. At first, we would we wanted to create characters. We've always wanted to create characters. So we thought about their life, what they would do, and really we have so many stories that we haven't told about them. And maybe we will at some point. But yeah, so the main thing I think we do is we create characters. Like, we imagine their life, what do they do in the daily life, and this really helps. And then there are the creatures, and for the creatures we either make stuff, which is really interesting to do, and you can end up doing something really crazy and bizarre, which we like. Or yeah, usually we do stuff from mythology and we give it a personality. We try to be really respectful if it belongs to another culture, of course. But usually we try to work with stuff that it's in common mythology, like Phoenix or well, the other stuff we did, which I can't remember at the moment because when I'm painting, I'm a bit my brain goes a bit dead. So yeah. Okay, starting to dry up a bit. Nice. I hope you can see it. Okay. Like spring nymph. Oh yeah, the spring nymph, our latest model. Yeah, yeah. We really love to make stuff. I think we're doing it again pretty soon. Like chimeras, that's what they're called when you mix animals together. They are so satisfactory to make. I really like to, give it the nose of an animal, but then give it the ears of another animal. It's really fun. It's so much fun. It's one of my favorite things to do, actually. And the spring nymph was pretty original. Like, we looked at flowers and we thought what could be best. And then we also worked with Manuel at the articulations. And so we need to combine our forces because I do the aesthetic part, he does the articulations. So I sometimes have an idea and it's like, oh yeah, we can't do that. We definitely can't do that. We need to simplify it. And like, okay. So the challenge is that as well, like trying to find a way to mix the aesthetic part, which I want to be cool, and the articulation to be satisfactory to handle. So yeah, that's what we do usually. So we looked at flowers, we looked at leaves, different kinds of leaves, and we tried to find a combination that worked. And of course, the face is really important because the eyes are everything. I mean, our eyes are usually like this, like they don't have a pupil and stuff, but the way you shape them, the way it determines everything. Yeah, one of my favorites is the creepy doll siren. I just love her so much. She's so unique with her braids. Not at all like the stereotypical brand. Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, that one is pretty old, I think. We did it years ago. And I think she didn't have a lot of love. She didn't get a lot of love as well, but at the time, I don't remember what I was thinking at the time because it was so long ago, really. But yeah, the main goal was to make it different because there are already so many mermaids out there, and we wanted to create something unique and weird. So yeah, hopefully we achieved that. Okay. Now, while the red is drying, I think we can go with the orange. Yeah, let's do the orange. I am cleaning my brush. Another important thing is that when you're sorry, you're the mommy to tell me the okay. Thank you. I'm so happy you like them. I put all I have really, and we try. Okay, let's do the orange. Let's not waste time. So while you're cleaning your brush, just make sure you don't leave it, like hit the bottom because it could ruin your brush. I'm using this one, Sarah Faber-Castell, by the way. Sorry, Winsor & Newton. It's not Faber-Castell. Sorry. Yeah, these are specific for model painting. But you can use anything as long as it has this shape. I hope you can see the shape. Here it is. Okay. So again, more consistency. Okay. And we paint. I'm not sure we're gonna finish this, but I wanna show you at least some highlights. So you can see how it pops as soon as we put them together. Oh, it's a bit dry. Okay. I understand. This is the most boring part, by the way, because you need to be patient, wait for stuff to dry, but it's gonna be worth it. Iowa, nice. Okay. Okay. Don't worry if you mess up, because these are gonna be refined later. So in this part you don't have to be very precise, just cover everything, because this is our base. Okay, just making sure. Everything is covered well. Okay. Again, just make sure you don't leave your brush like this, because this will ruin the tip. So you just do this movement. Yeah, I can really see the depth from the shadows. The magenta really nice. Well, you haven't seen anything yet. It's gonna be much better in a bit. Okay. Okay. Of course, I'm using this brush, but you can use a smaller one. I usually use this one, which is 0.2. See? Oh, it's already, it's so worn out. But yeah, I am somebody who's very patient, so I do this with a very small brush while I could use this. But yeah. Okay. I think we can add some highlights here. Yeah, we can. Alright, so I think I'm gonna go with pink. Or yellow. Or both. You can go a bit crazy with flames. The thing about flames is that they have so many colors in them. I advise you to look at some references. You can also find blue in it. And you end up having very interesting combinations. Your partner together works really, really good. Your models are really complicated. And that's it thanks you. Yeah. Nice. Nice. Thank you. It's very happy to hear that. Okay. So, yeah. Highlights. So, I was saying. Yeah. So, we can use some light blue. We can use some yellow. We can use some pink. We can do a lot. If you look at some flames, like some references of flame, some pictures, or a flame, if you have it, like if you're watching a live flame, yeah, you can look at the many variations they have. And so if I made it orange, it wouldn't be wrong, but it wouldn't be a lot. Like it would be a bit lame, maybe. So let's try something else. Let's try pink, and then let's add some light blue, maybe. What do you think? Okay.
You want me to mix?
What?
You want me to mix the colors?
No, it's okay. I can mix it. Let me find the pink. Where is it? Crimson. You know what? Let's make one from this magenta. Here's a white. And I add some blue as well. So we'll end up with a purple, maybe. It's gonna be interesting. Okay. White. Here it is. And let's add some blue. Yeah. Okay. Now we need to be really careful with the white, because white is very delicate. So if you add too much of this, you're gonna end up with the same color, and just need a little tip of your brush. Okay. Let's add some water, not too much. And some blue as well. Here it is. Nice. Okay. Let's start with the highlights. I also like this contrast, because this is a cold color, this is a warm color, and I think it's really cool. Then we can add some yellow later. We can do whatever we want, really. Just the more color, in this case, the better. Okay. Now, in this case, when you're doing highlights, you can go a bit thicker than milk consistency. So we can add a bit more color to make it thicker. Okay. Yeah. I'm not sure if you see the consistency. It's very hard to do. But, yeah. And we need to be patient as well because this is gonna take some time. Let's try with here. I hope you can see it. Okay. And here. Now, just need to be very, like, these are very thin layers. We don't need to cover a lot of surface, that's what I mean. Just need a little bit where the light touches. Okay, and right here on its belly. Now if you want to mix it well with the red, just go back to the red. I need to mix it again. So the paint still needs to be wet for this to work. I hope I can do it in time. Okay, here, some red. Okay. Okay, so with the paint wet, you just add a little bit of red. And then you clean the brush a little bit. And you blend it in. And then you add this one. See? Obviously you're still gonna see the layers maybe, but if you do it consistently, you won't see the printed layers and you will see a uniform surface. Okay. Alright, then we can lighten the highlights even more. So I'm adding more white so it gets even lighter, and we're gonna narrow it down to this part. So the lighter it is, the less surface it touches. So you're gonna have a wider area of highlights and the lightest, which is a smaller area. Okay, so here it will be just the tip of the belly. Obviously it's gonna need some touch-ups. Oh, we can do another thing. We can pretend he has some little strands, some plumage right here, here. It wasn't on the print, but I thought, why not? So we had some texture. It already looks so much better, I think. Okay. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna show you a little bit here. See? So cute. Okay. So this part is gonna be purplish. This one, I really want it yellow. So this is gonna be the cold part. This is gonna be the hot part. So the warm part. I'm probably gonna do, let's see if it works. If it doesn't work, don't worry, you can still cover it with red. So you try and experiment and see what works best for you. Why not? Is your main job or this is our main job. Yeah, this is our main job. I actually studied languages before this, but always wanted to do art since I was a kid, and I thought at some point, why not? Why not? Let's try. And so I went to art school. We met, and then we decided we did some freelancing at first, and we did models for other people, but we weren't really satisfied. We wanted to do something more. Wanted to express ourselves more. So we decided to go with 3D printing, and it worked. Yeah, this is our job, and honestly, we love it. It's still a job. It's still you're still working. It's not that we're having fun all the time, because we need to be realistic about this. But I don't see myself doing anything different. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, this is pretty much our story, in short. Right, I'm refining this a little bit. Add in some yellow here. Okay, yellow. Here it is. Favorite model, but what was your favorite to make? What was my favorite to make? Oh, I don't know. There's so many. Okay, so maybe because it's our first model, but I really, really love our pumpkin boy. Our pumpkin boy is amazing to me, and we keep doing, reskinning a bit every year for like celebration, because but it was our first. It was our first articulated model. Also, it's gonna have a name besides pumpkin boy. It's not always gonna be pumpkin boy. But yeah, so I think it was our first, because I was like, oh, let's see if this works. And I sketched it. And Manu was like, okay, let's try to reduce some articulations for it. And like we saw it grow on the printer, and we were so in love with it. We were like, oh, we did this. We really did. So yeah, it was almost like moving. Like we saw him like be alive, and it was great. So yeah, I'd say pumpkin boy, but I'm not sure if it's because it was a first, or if I think it's my best model. I don't think it's my best model. I think it was a good first, if you know what I mean. Has 3D printing been popular in Italy for as long as it's not as popular in Italy. Yeah, no, I mean, we do have some people printing, but it's rising now, but it's not as popular as it is in the US. No, definitely not. Yeah, no, not at all. So yeah, we work with you guys, but we don't really work with people in Italy. Okay. Yellow. Okay. Oh, and I also like the creepy doll, of course. But I'm not sure I love the first model. I think in the summer styling. I actually did summer styling for a game. Now, if you guys know, we are making a game. And that's a really exciting adventure as well. And yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. So, Rexus really loves our Count Platypus. I'm not even sure if you guys remember him, because it was one of our first. But like we thought it was gonna be huge. Like we were like, okay, this one, people are gonna love it. Nobody liked it. We were like, okay, but we still do. So I think he needs some love. Not because we thought it was the best, right? But we thought it would be way better than it did. Because, you know, we worked on the fact that he had the green tongue because it's poisonous, as platypuses are. The platypuses? I don't know what it's called, what they're called in plural for, but yeah. See the yellow? Okay. Poor guy. Yeah, poor guy. We're gonna put him in a game. No, I don't know if we are, but yeah. We need to tell him a story. Because it's all in our mind and nobody knows. Okay. So I'm adding some highlights here. It's kind of cute. What stuff did you use to do your design? Use Fusion? Okay. No, I use ZBrush, and we also use Blender. And then, well, we sketch and random stuff like Photoshop or a piece of paper. But yeah, ZBrush is my main, and yeah. But anything works as long as you can like create something. Anything works really. There's no, I mean, especially now that there are updates and stuff, I think you can't necessarily have a favorite program, because one day it's good, one day it's bad. So yeah, whatever works for you. Oh, it's already tridimensional here. Look. So if you don't get to finish this, I'm gonna show you eventually, because it needs a lot of touching up. Okay. Numbskull. Oh yeah, I heard about it. I have sort of used it. I'm not a fan of using it from an iPod or anything. I need my computer for some strange reason. But yeah, I heard it's pretty good. Also, like, I have all my shortcuts. It's really hard to learn something new and use it consistently when you're ready. You've used that for so many years, and so maybe it's a bit lazy, I know, but yeah. Okay, so these are pretty bold, so I'm gonna go way more bold with the yellow as well. So I'm gonna add some white to it. Okay. See how easy it is? Here. And I'm keeping my paint pretty thick here, because we are drawing sharp lines. Okay. Remember when I started drawing in Procreate after years of Photoshop? It was low-key traumatic. It was like learning to walk again. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, especially if you do it as for a job, you need to be quick. And so learning something new requires time. And I encourage it. My brain doesn't work that fast. Oh, here it is. Account Platypus. Here. And this one was actually, we actually pre-painted this. It wasn't painted on a sorry. It wasn't printed on a color. Yeah. So we had to paint everything in this. And it took, I think it took, to make it this well, I think it took 2 days. No, probably 1 day and a half. Right. Okay. 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 Nice. Can you see it? We can go even bolder with the highlights. Here. Okay. And then we can add another color just on top of it to make it on some parts. I'm gonna show you soon. Like we can add a pink. Okay. I'm gonna clean my brush. Okay. Here. So it looks like a white, but it's actually pink. And yeah. Not on all the feathers, just a few and just the tip. Okay. Here. It creates a nice contrast, I think. Okay. Some areas. We could also do a green. Green would be interesting. Okay. I'm gonna show a picture of it when it's actually done, because I don't think we're gonna finish it in 4 minutes. Still need to do the eyes. For the eyes, just to finish this, we can go with an orange, and I usually draw the outline. And then mix orange and yellow, or we could do it green. Yeah, I think would be cool. We're still in time. She's glowing, thank you. Yeah, I think the eyes need to contrast it. Well, one good thing you can do with this is, I'm taking a green. Wait. Okay. So the whole model is red, orange, and pretty much warm colors. So if we add a green, you're gonna see it right away. And it's gonna add a lot to the model. So this is something I did with the bigger phoenix, the main phoenix we did. And I think it worked pretty well. So yeah, I'm gonna do it again. I need a different kind of green now. Oh, it's already 2 minutes. I'm gonna do this, and then we're gonna say goodbye. I really hope you enjoyed our time here. I really did, actually. It was pretty relaxing. So hopefully we can do it again. Maybe once a month. I'm not promising anything. Maybe once a month. Could be nice. So if you guys want, you can always join us in our studio and paint with me. Alright, I need to wait for this to dry, and it's gonna take a while. So I'm gonna finish it, and then I'm gonna show you a picture for everyone to see. So thank you for being here and keeping me company. It was very nice. I'm glad you enjoy yourself, and see you next time. And we'll talk and paint and have fun together and spend a relaxing evening. And thank you, and bye. Rexa says bye as well.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Bye, guys.